So, so I can share, right?
Yes.
And there we go. Welcome to Recruiting New Members. And thank you for joining us. And most of you know I'm Gail Dekreon. I'm your membership chair for the Sierra Pacific region. And I'm looking forward to revealing secrets tonight, not about myself, about recruiting new members, getting them engaged in the club and keeping them year after year. Are you ready for this? Not so much a secret when it's published on our SIA website. So can everyone see the agenda? I got to move this thing out of my way. There we are. There we are. So we've done, I think we've kind of done some introductions and we're going to be done in an hour. And then and I'm hoping there'll be time, which I think there will be, for questions and anyone's ideas about what they're doing. So increasing the number of seroptimists is a very important step toward reaching our big goal. And everyone knows what the big goal is by now, right? To improve the lives of women and girls, or 500,000 women and girls, by helping them get the education they need, education or training they need. And since 2015, Seroptimus International Americans has done extensive research and collected a lot of data to help us understand what is important to prospective members. So whenever someone does one of those, I think I'd like to join, and I send them on to your presidents, they ask them why do they want to join? So our primary goals tonight is to help us understand what's important to our prospective members so we can recruit them, engage them. That means keep them, well, engage them, get them involved, and then retain them. That means to keep them. So here are our recruitment tips, the secrets revealed. What do potential members want? And what they want is, you can see, relationships, mission, personal growth, and volunteer opportunities. As you all know too, recruiting members can be daunting. It's hard to know exactly what is a prospective member is looking for when she visits your club. And so what if you could get inside their heads or a group of prospective members, many of them, to learn everything that they want out of membership. So you're in luck that Seroptimus International has access to a pool of enthusiastic prospects. I don't know how enthusiastic they are because I don't know how often they've joined. Have any of you, what is your luck with those prospective member forms that I send to your presidents that they actually joined? Does anyone have any experience? Nobody?
We've had a couple, haven't we, Gail? Or did they join?
Not in our club.
We've had a meeting, but I don't think they joined.
Yeah, we get people through Meetup more than we do for the prospective member thing. But anyway.
Well, I've had interest, they've even come to a meeting and then we don't hear from them again sometimes.
Yeah. In January, my club used to get a lot of people because they would make their New Year promises to themselves that they were going to join a service club and do good works. And they came to one meeting and then they didn't anymore. So, at least they tried. So, we're going to hopefully we stop our guesswork and build a recruitment strategy and what we know matters for our potential members. So for relationships, they're looking for friendship and fellowship and being with other like-minded women. Nearly 75% of the women who did the survey said they were seeking friendship and fellowship and being with other like-minded women. So does your club offer opportunities for socializing before and after your meetings so that they can mingle and get to know one another? Does any of your clubs do that, or is it business?
We log into the Zoom early and visit on the online club, and then we always kind of chat afterwards too.
Yeah, it's nice. That's why our club always does. My San Francisco club always does introductions, even though we mostly know everybody. But it's nice because it's, as we know each other, then they can say like, "Oh, and I'm a new grandma," or "I'm going to go this place," and you get to know more about them, and that helps people who are visiting new members. So they're suggesting, here's the secret: invite a prospective member to come to a meeting a few minutes early, and introduce her to the members that are already there, so she'll kind of feel at ease once you get down to business. And then create a space for fellowship when you're a visitor. Showcase that opportunity for meeting new friends. I know that when I joined Seroptimus, I was kind of dragged in by a sister judge, but this is what I liked the best about it, was the friendships that I made and being with other like-minded women. So then the second thing that they mentioned is the mission. And we all know people love our mission. 68% of the women surveyed were interested in joining because of a personal connection to our mission. One of our members, her sister, got one of our Live Your Dream Awards. I think it was called Women's Opportunity Award at the time she got it. Is your club participating in our signature dream programs, Live Your Dream and Dream It Be It, education, career support for girls, I meant to say? I think all of us do it. Our region is for almost every year for the last, since, 20 years I've been a member, we've had 100% participation. I think last year there was one club that just couldn't do it. It's the first time ever. I could have cried. But anyway, so we want to highlight these life-changing programs, emphasize your club's local women and girl focused projects, because that's the new accelerator thing, right? That SR Optimus International Americas wants to recognize the other things we do for women and girls besides Live Your Dream and Dream It Be It. And I know a lot of clubs have programs like that. Potential members want to join because our mission to improve the lives of women and girls. And when talking about the club, we want to focus to those new people, focus on our mission-based work and let the potential members know how she can get directly involved in those projects. But if she's not ready to join, I say make her a, quote, friend of SR Optimus, unquote, by inviting her to your meetings or your next event or fundraiser, and just keep them coming. And we have 2 or 3 members in my club that kept coming for like a year, and then they finally joined. Because they got comfortable and realized they didn't want to do it. And what also works really well is to bring some of your Live Your Dream ladies, your recipients, to one of your program meetings or even a business meeting, and just 5 or 10 minutes have her catch up with us about what she's been doing and how well she's doing. And it still brings me to tears when we get one of our Live Your Dream ladies or our scholarship girls to come. Is anybody doing that right now? Do you bring any of your Live Your Dreams to your meetings?
Or to events? We've gotten an awful lot of people to join by coming to the Class C Bag Affair year after year for several years, and then they join based on that experience.
Oh, how great! Yeah, and that bag affair is fabulous. I love it, and I'm just going to retire soon, so I can come more often, or at least once a year. So
Gail,
the next on our hit list. Oh, was someone going to say something?
Janie, I know I'm not an SI Clovis member, but they have a Live Your Dream award as a new member of their club, which is the first time since 2011 that I know of. And they had their big Denim and Diamonds get together on Friday, and they had her do just like a little 3-minute vignette to tell everybody there was almost 200 people there, about our mission and how it has personally affected her. And it was just really moving. It was great. So, and she wouldn't have necessarily been there and but she joined the club and now she's part of us. So that's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's Denim and Diamonds. You do that. It's a big one for you once a year or the
Yes,
Clovis Club,
yes,
once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And my San Francisco club, until COVID, we would have a big annual event, either a luncheon or dinner, depending on how we felt would work the best, and always gave our awards to our people at that event. And the other guests that came that weren't SR Optimus, that sold them. And we would get members that way. I hope we can do it again. So, that was mission. Now we're on to personal growth. So some people want personal growth. They want to gain leadership opportunities and they want to gain personal development opportunities. So 63% of those women surveyed hope to gain leadership and personal development opportunities through their membership. And like what? The committees, you're serving on the club's board as an officer or director. So you want to tell them about the leadership training that are, with COVID kind of shut us down, but we do leadership training every summer. And now we're doing it. I like the system of doing it 1 hour every week or every other week that Governor-elect Judy has set up. And tell them about the leadership training, the opportunities for public speaking. So we got to download that elevator speech, the key messaging. And if nobody has it, I will send it to you guys. SR Optimus International America has what they call a capacity inventory tool to help you determine what a potential member brings to the table. And it's supposed to tell you what she wants to learn so you can steer her towards committed projects that will truly engage her interests. And, when I first joined Seroptimist, in between the years when SIA did not have a convention, they would have leadership development, someplace like Hawaii or Philadelphia or something, and get the most incredible speakers in there to help teach you how to be a leader or just teach you how to keep developing your clubs. And I learned how to do public speaking better. I learned how to prepare speeches so I wasn't stumbling around and didn't sound too good. And it really helped me as a judge too, to be prepared like that. So I knew what I was going to say. And if you know what you're going to say and have a little script that you can, either read or just glance at and keep yourself going, you sound really, really intelligent, which is so important in any job or any career. So, and some people want to put on their resume, I was on the board of directors for Seroptimist of International of Clovis, or Seroptimist International of the Online Club, or San Francisco, or they were the president, or they moved on the region. This stuff shows that you know how to lead and you know how to help people. And there's not that many of those kind of opportunities in the traditional male service clubs. I find that Seroptimist for women, it's a very forgiving environment, because we all are struggling with the same sort of things. We're not going to laugh or put somebody down unless we're mean people. And you can learn and develop. And the next thing, of course, is volunteer opportunities. And I'm sure all of you have noticed this. There's some people, you never hear from them until it's like, we're going to have a garage sale. Come on down with your stuff. And suddenly there's these people they're pricing things. They're selling things to people at the garage sale. Some people like to do more than they like to attend meetings, more than they want to donate money, more than they want to work on a committee. And that's very valuable. 62% of prospective members were looking for hands-on opportunities to do volunteer work. So do your clubs have upcoming projects, programs, or events that require volunteers to actually do hands-on stuff, blow up balloons, decorate, things like that?
Sure.
And those are, if you have prospective members or friends of Seroptimists that, want to get their hands on something, bring them in. They don't have to be Seroptimists yet. They can be a friend of Seroptimists. Has anybody gained members by getting volunteers to come help with events?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Well, think about it. So do you think what your club offers matches up with these kind of?
We actually did in Santa Clara.
Okay.
For the volunteer.
Uh-huh.
So my friend Natalie, she would come to the Classy Bag Affair, and I would actually kind of put her to work.
Good.
Helping out with stuff, whether it was being a ID fairy or whatever, helping to schlep stuff with us, but just helping and coming to that entices people to do what we're doing because they see us in action.
Right. And, some people, they come to an event, to a meeting or something, they don't really know anybody that well. A lot of people come to our meetings, they don't know any of us. And if you have something to do with your hands, and then you kind of get involved in the conversations and it warms up and it becomes that friendly environment that a lot of us are looking for. When I go visit friends, I like to work for them. Can I mow your lawn while you're cooking dinner? Wash your dishes?
Yeah.
Does anybody have lawns anymore? Hopefully not. Okay. Come in. Oh, it's not. I'm hitting enter and it's not working. Oh, did I not put the last slide in there? There it is. Okay. Sorry. So does what your club offers, your current members and prospective members, match up with these values that we were just talking about? The things that they're looking for? Friendship, they love the mission, hands-on stuff. And that you got to figure out what these prospective members really like. You don't want to put spotlights on them and grill them, but I know that Hanford Club has been doing something which I think is wonderful when they get a new member in, that they assign her a seasoned member as their mentor who just, calls her, says, coming to the meeting tonight, gets together with her, explains things to her. Something you might consider. So our clubs are uniquely poised to offer all of these things to women, a group of like-minded women who can foster friendships and grow together while volunteering on life-changing programs that improve the lives of the women and girls that we want to help with access to education and training. So they achieve economic empowerment. And when we do it, it feels really, really good. So we're helping them and we're helping ourselves. What do you think?
Yay.
Are we inspired?
Yes.
So I recently, Sir Optimus International America, they're doing also a lapsed member survey. Do you want to hear about that one?
Yes.
Sure.
A what member survey?
The
Labs.
lapsed member, the ones who leave us.
Oh,
So the key findings, I'll give you the summary. The lapsed members, this top reason why they joined in alignment with the top reason reported historically across all survey periods. The top reason they joined was to improve the lives of women and girls. We know this. The top reasons reported for leaving: club functioning, that the clubs were locked in tradition, there was no orientation, and there was pressure to accept a leadership role the minute they walked in the door. I think we've all been there.
guilty.
Next was club personality, that there were personality conflicts and they did not feel welcome. And the next one was they were asked to give or spend too much money. And this did start out as a professional businesswomen's organization with the expectation that you would be writing checks and opening your wallets. But we've had to grow with the times, and not everybody can do that. So it's your time. Do you have time to do this? It's your treasure. Do you have money? And it's your time, treasure, and I can't remember what the other T is, but it's basically labor, that the
Talent.
hands-on thing, right? The hands-on thing. And some people can do all three, and some people can just give you their time, and some people can give you a check, which that's important too. And we should find those things out and encourage that. So when asked what qualities they valued the most from their membership, the respondents chose the following top choices by a large margin: the opportunity to volunteer in the local community, friendship and fellowship, we've heard this, personal connection to the mission, and being with other like-minded women. So that's what they valued most about their membership. Membership and public awareness continue to be the most frequently identified as the areas most needing improvement in the club. Membership. So, why did you leave? If membership's important, then you should stay. I don't quite understand that one. Former members aged 25 to 35 were far more likely to identify networking opportunities as the reason that they joined Sir Optimus International Americas compared to lapsed members overall. They wanted to get to know other professional women. They want to help improve their businesses. They want to be mentored. And, we're not supposed to be really, it's a business professional women's organization. We don't use that in our identifiers anymore. But I know that in my club, when my boyfriend Paul's a member of our club, and he was a trustee for someone who passed away, and he got one of our members who's a real estate person to take care of the house and sell. And she did a great job, right? So why not? If you need a banker, why not go to the banker in your club? You need someone who develops websites, whatever. I don't know what these young ones do. They're very busy. Young ones are very busy. So the young ones were, they also, when asked why they left, this age group chose unfulfilling activities more frequently than respondents in other age brackets. They don't want to just come every week and sit in a meeting or once a month. They want fulfilling activities. And I think that this is something, I think Julie, you were, and Janie were working on the core committee when we but just before we chartered the online club, is that we were meeting once a month.
Yeah,
And
I know.
this is boring. And we did the hope bags. And I did a challenge. Let's get these many hope bags done by the end of the month. And we did. And everybody was.
Explain to us what that was.
So the hope bags it's a national project. You can look it up on the internet. There it is. But one of the Clovis Club, a woman in the Clovis Club, had a connection with the FBI, and they were I just going to use the word saving trafficked women and girls. And when they save them, they have nothing but the clothes on their back, such as they are, like cutoffs and a teeny tiny
Right.
t-shirt that shows everything. And they had nothing. And so the hope bags were to get them toiletries, not little travel things like a whole bottle of shampoo, and a whole bar of soap. And if you wanted to go even more, we got them like sweatpants and t-shirts, and not makeup particularly because they were forced to make up all the time, but there's a whole list of things for the hope bags. And she was decorating really pretty paper bags, and we are the kind of club that says we want it sustainable. We got cloth bags, and the big thing in there was to write a note of encouragement on a piece of stationery that we hope that things go well for you. We are thinking about you. We're loving you. We're praying for you. Whatever you want to say, you are valuable. And now I think that Julie, your club is continuing it, but you call it Sir Optimus Dream Bags, right?
Yeah.
I do we,
Yes.
Janie? I think so.
Yes, we do.
It was
Yes.
it was such a great project to do. It was so enjoyable to do it, and just
And-
knowing where they were going. But we all love to go out and shop and fill up a bag of things that we think we would want, and
Yeah.
need. But we had a list to go by.
Yeah.
But it really did bring our club together in the early days, right, Janie? It helped.
Yes, it's hard to find projects that work online, and the Hope Bags really did. And it resonated with our mission so well that
Yeah.
everybody jumped in.
Yeah, it went to the dollar store. Now, I guess they're $1.25 and $1.50 stores now, but we went to the dollar store and you could fill up these bags. She said, no more than $20 a bag, but with the dollar store, you can buy like a whole package of toothbrushes, right? So now you have enough you have $1 package of toothbrushes is enough for 6 bags or something like that.
And how would every club speaking of dogs, how would every club get a connection to have a list of people to get those? I mean,
Well,
you
we
had-
took them to the lady from the member of the SI Clovis Club who had a connection with the FBI. When my club did it, our president said, I'd rather than give this to FBI in the Valley, not that we don't like the Valley, why don't we have organizations here? And we do. We have the Asian Pacific Women's Resource Center, which is for women who in domestic violence, who are escaping domestic violence. We've got all these, every town almost has these kind of shelters that you can take these things to, or to hospitals, because they get rape victims in, and after they do, they take their clothes for evidence, and they do all this horrible, they've already been violated, and then they're violated medically with all this testing. And when they're done, they're walking out with those paper gowns that tie in the back. That's all they have.
Wow.
I have a friend who's in the club in Vacaville, and they live right near the prison. So they worked a relationship out, and they didn't just do that. They took these women to lunch. They took them to a hairdresser, and somebody did their nails, and they took them to Savers. They went to Savers, and Savers gave them a certain budget to buy some outfits.
Nice.
Really.
Wow.
With
Yeah.
these women that
That's
were
really nice. But that sounds like a very expensive thing, which is great that they could do
No,
that.
they got it all donated. They had everybody donated that stuff. The lunches were donated, the clothes were donated, the hair salon donated their time. It was great.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just need a prison nearby. That's all.
So they would let these women out of the prison.
We
Yeah.
we
They
actually
let the
have-
women out of the prison to go do these things, or
they were being let out. They were
Being
Oh,
released.
they
were
had
trying-
finished their terms. Okay.
get them
Oh.
back into society.
Oh, wow. That's a
So
great.
important
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
released in the clothes that they were convicted in.
Yep.
And they-
Exactly. Yeah.
and I think that they have opportunities to work, but they're paid like, I don't know, 50 cents an hour. It's not like they're walking out
Yeah.
with money. And
Yeah.
they use that money while they're serving their terms to buy things like toothpaste and soap in prison. So they have nothing. Yeah. So there's all sorts of things in your community. Anyone live near a prison besides?
Yeah, Julie, there's lots of prisons in the Valley. There are. lots
There
of
are,
prisons.
yeah, because they got the land
Yeah,
for it. But
Not a good
Yep.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's
but yeah, in
definitely a possible
San-
thing.
in San Francisco, we have the Hope. We have, let me see, what does she call her? It's Reverend Hope's safe house, and they have a safe house for, and they're usually women in their 40s or older who have been in sex workers, and a lot of times they're addicted and they're trying to get out of the life. And it's very small. When I visited, they can only have like 8 residents. But
Yeah, our club works with 2 of those safe houses in San Jose area.
Yeah, yeah.
And we could do the Hope Bags for them too. We actually do more of a thing with their children. Most of them are domestic violence victims, but
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the kind of activity I think that would help engage new
Mhm.
members or even old members and retain them. So then the majority of respondents of this survey indicated they would join a club again in the future. And this is highest amongst former members who are aged 35 to 54. And I know that when I was a new attorney, I practiced law for 20 years. And so I was like 28 when I started. And when I became a judge when I was 49, and I had more time then, older, I kind of experienced enough, and I had time for Sir Optimus. But I know when I was in that earlier age group, I was developing my practice. I was busy. I was working nights. I was working weekends. I think it's just, there's a lot of demands on younger women. And I think we have to keep that in mind of what they can offer us.
And that's the problem. You've got members that are no longer able-bodied enough to do some things. And then you've got the young people that are still working, that are busy. And there's these, you know how it is. It's this, the 10% rule works in every club.
Right. Yeah.
And those people that are stuck in the middle, that are whatever.
Yeah. One of our members called it being a sandwich, that, her daughter was very early 20s and her mother was falling into dementia. And, she's in the middle trying to help and take care of both of them. And yeah. So those respondents who reported their clubs were mission focused, were more likely to consider joining a club in the future, and also more likely to recommend that a friend join their local club. Those are the key findings for lapsed members.
Do any of you guys do a thing like a tea or a meet for coffee or cocktails or whatever, and have people bring somebody? Have you done that? Does it work? A meetup, kind of a meetup thing?
Right. My club was doing it pretty successfully up until COVID shut down. And I do know that Los Banos was working hard to build up their club. And they were having, even during COVID, they were having backyard get-togethers.
Yeah.
With social distancing. And they gained a lot of members. And they have, backyard, and it was potluck. And
how did people get invited? Just through people bringing a friend, or how was it done?
bringing a friend. And I think, word of mouth.
On social media? Okay.
I don't know that I think they put it on Facebook. Yeah, they put it on Facebook. Their Facebook is very good. I know that I was encouraging Lodi to use Meetup to build up their club, and they did successfully towards the end of that biennium and built it up. And then I got an email from them. I think you saw it too, Judy. So they advertised it on Meetup, but you had to email to get the link. They weren't advertising the link. And then apparently a woman said, "Oh yeah, I'm interested. I want to come." And then she brought in these, people that were, showing off their genitals and nasty stuff or whatever it was.
That's bad.
So they're dumping Meetup, and it's too bad because it was working.
Yeah.
But they were still pretty much meeting. It is very convenient when you have a full day of work to come home and have a meeting right in your own living room, or something. But there's the downside, So what they did was they turned off that person. They sent a new link to everybody that they could trust, and then they continued with the meeting. But that was hard.
And then the other question I have too is, have in your other clubs, do you guys do guest speakers at your monthly meetings? And you have somebody in charge of getting those guest speakers, or is it just? And are they just fun things, or are they informative things? I know you're supposed to avoid. Give me some examples of things that you guys have done. And
Maria, can you share with us? Maria
Yes.
is our vice president, and she's heading. We've changed our formatting a little bit. We're the online club. So the first Wednesday of the month was our board meeting, and the second Wednesday of the month was our business meeting. And we've changed it and made our board and business meeting both the first Wednesday of the month. And then the third Wednesday of the month is a program meeting where we're having guest speakers, opportunity to invite guests, and make it a little bit more social, interactive, and more fun. Because our meetings were not, we had people coming to our meetings, but even I was thinking, why are you here? They weren't that really, unless you're a member and have, a responsibility. We felt like that wasn't a good way to encourage people to join. So we've changed our formatting a little bit. Maria's on the call.
Yeah,
and
I'm right
she's
here.
adding
So what we've done
speakers
is
for us.
I've set themes for the remainder of the meetings through April. So like for October, we had a wear pink theme where all the members wore pink, and I had a drawing for a gift card of everybody that wore pink. And I had somebody from the Tulare Hospital Foundation, who I've heard give speeches before. She's a breast cancer survivor. So I invited her to the meeting, and she gave a 3 to 5 minute presentation that was really well received in the beginning of the meeting. And then we went on and we're all wearing our pink and talked about her. The next
Oh,
meeting
great.
coming up next week, we're going to have our fall meeting, and we have a guest speaker from a food bank, which we're going to do an online food drive. December, we're going to do an online Christmas, and then in November, we'll draw names to send a little trinket gift. And then in December, we're going to have like an online party where we open that gift. And then in January, I believe, I don't have my notes in front of me, I apologize, but I've tried to get something interactive every month. Some months we do just the short tidbit before the business meeting instead of having a whole separate meeting. I think we have 2 meetings in the spring lined up that are going to be separate program meetings. One of them that I'm really excited, or I have 2 that I'm really excited about. Loretta's going to have the Live Your Dream recipients come and talk.
Nice.
And then in April, when we all come out of our winter hibernation, my next door neighbor is a high-ranking sheriff detective. And he is going to come over and reinforce safety practices with us, parking lot safety, how to
Ooh.
protect our daughters from sex traffickers in the area, because it's a big issue in our area. So he'll be my final program in April, and we'll probably do that as a separate one. And
Mhm.
he has the resources from the Tulare County Sheriff's Department that he can pull cut from his program. So it takes some effort, but as long as you have one person designated, and I work with the different members of the club that have approached me with people they've thought of, we're
Sure.
hoping to link the canned food drive and Toys for Tots for the Marines. We're hoping to link that through our Amazon Smile. So we're able to still contribute on Amazon, sending it to where it needs to go, and then having a percentage of that come back as a fundraiser for the club. So that's our long-term goals.
So Amazon,
Thank you for
oh,
sharing.
you
that.
go, yeah, Amazon, you designate where you want it to go. That's what you do
Smile, yeah.
on Amazon Smile. Yeah, I do that too.
I know. Sorry.
Do you all know about Amazon Smile?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's great.
Well, I even like the idea about having a garage sale. That always could be a social thing as well.
Yeah, I've never done one before, and our new president said, "Well, I really want to do this garage sale." And we had a lot of stuff in our storage that we had for events and raffles and stuff, and you know, people will donate stuff, and it's like it wasn't moving, and so we said, "Yeah, we can get rid of all this stuff that's not working." And it was a lot of fun. We dragged it all out there. You know, some people have done it before. They set things up, the pricing. You know, so one person wanted to price it real high, and then we'd stick behind her back and say, "You could have it for 20." You know. And we made over $700 on our first try.
Good. Yeah, it's a good
And that'll
idea.
pay for storage for a year.
Perfect.
Yeah. And it was fun. And we saw a hawk, you know, attack and capture a pigeon and right across the
Oh,
street from
lovely.
us. Yeah, and
Bonus.
you know, held it down until it died and then it took off with it. Nature.
Thank you for sharing, Gail.
I love the ideas of having a theme. So what when my club has we only meet once a month, and so we always had a speaker. And then one of our presidents said, "Well, we should only have it every other month, and then we'll have business." And then it was like someone was describing. I mean, it's just, you know, it's kind of boring. You know, we have these agendas, and you just talk about everything. And what's more fun on the agendas is when you're talking about, oh, we're going to do our garage sale. And you talk about this, that, and the other thing. You know, so we have this, you know, rather long agenda, but there's certain projects that we spend more time on. And so we're going back to trying to have a speaker at every meeting and try and get our Live Your Dream people or some of our McHugh people, McHugh scholarship. We give scholarships to high school girls going to camp. And we've learned they were not doing so well because they're dying to get away from home. And so they were flunking and not telling us because they were embarrassed. And so now we mentor them, and we've had 100% graduation since that time. I think
Wow.
we have like 28 mentees, Judy.
Yeah, 28,
Wow.
And
6 or 28, yeah.
yes, and we have, before COVID, we're having lunches and for people between semesters or dinners, and they would mentor the younger girls because the girls want to listen to other girls, and I'm thinking we're hoping to maybe get them to help us work on our Dibby. And it's nice to hear of our successes, you know, and they all are very grateful to Seroptimus for helping them with the money. And
Well, these were high school kids?
Yep. Well,
McHugh
graduating.
Scholarships, high school kids, yeah, the
And
Live Your Dream ladies.
through who did you forge that relationship?
Our club has always had, Georgia McHugh was a member in the 70s and she left us a bequest, and it's the McHugh Scholarship. And we have been advertising it every year, and we have enough, we invest money, we have enough to give two. Sometimes if we raise enough money during the year, we'll give a third one that won't be a McHugh, it'll just be
So
us.
did you work with the person that runs the career center at the high school then? Or
Yeah, I guess so. It's hard to get connected with the high schools. We advertise it and send it to all the school counselors. We try every year, we try and build up our
okay,
list
same
and put
thing.
it on Facebook. And these kids look for these scholarships.
Yeah.
They
A
look
lot
for
of schools, at least where I taught, we have our own, we have a center for that isn't necessarily, it isn't a counselor, it's actually somebody that runs the college and career center that handles all the scholarships. And so there's
Nice.
one person you can get a hold of.
Yeah, very nice.
I don't
And
know- I don't know
we
if
had
every
those kind of
school has that.
relationships with the private schools. It's hard in San Francisco to break into those
Yeah.
public schools, but we have a member now who's got a connection with Balboa High School. And as you said, they've got almost all they call it wellness center in our school system. And so I think we're going to get some movement in there, get some more people.
Okay.
Yeah, the members love seeing the beneficiaries of what we do. It's nice to get teachers. Get teachers in your club. They've got this.
Oh, my goodness.
That's
Yeah, when
true.
SI Clovis got Linda Gillis, it was like, she was sent from God.
Yeah.
Because SI Clovis had tried for so long to get into the Clovis school system.
Judy, this is the size you need right here. This.
Yeah.
Really closed to everybody outside the system. No matter what our mission was or whatever, but Linda taught for 30 years in the Clovis school system, and she is just amazing.
Yeah, she knows everybody, and they're willing to open up their doors and their wallets to help.
Yeah, and now we're getting new members that are either retired teachers or affiliated with the Clovis school system. So like our Dream It Be It program, it's just soaring because of it.
I almost thought, I've thought about that numerous times because I still substitute at my high school, but you have to, there's some protocols about how to approach a
Sure.
staff. You can't just send an email out and say, hey,
Right.
whatever.
No,
I've been going to try to figure out how to do that.
Linda's doing a workshop on that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it'll
I'll
be
be
later in the spring, but she's going to talk exactly about, strategies for finding that connection and getting into different types of organizations.
Well, especially because those are ready-made, if they're high school people, are ready-made connections to the Dream It Be It.
Yep.
yes, absolutely. Fantastic.
Yeah, and the Dream It Be It, we've been able to do a couple of them in my club online, and we're going to do in person this year. We're hoping in the new year. But one of the, the girls do the survey afterwards. They want to see people closer to their age, which is understandable.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm hoping we can tap into our McHugh recipients, and even the college women that we help. Most of them are in their 20s or early 30s, and the kids, the high school kids, just respond better to them than
It's a great idea.
us gray hairs.
Even on Facebook, I taught for 40 years and I have relationships with a lot of former students. I just met on Sunday, I met a group of kids that played basketball for me they graduated in 1979.
Wow.
We met downtown San Jose and had lunch and had the scrapbook out and it's such an easy group to tap into. A lot of them don't live in this area anymore, but
That's so nice.
That's
And what
sweet.
I love to see is when we interview the girls for our McHugh scholarship, and we meet our Live Your Dream ladies, and they're shy, especially those young girls who are all of 18 years old, and they can barely raise their voice, and then after 1 year, they're just so much stronger, and 2 years in graduation time, and those women are ready to go, and we help them do this. And I love it that for the most part, the Live Your Dream ladies are really busy with their kids and stuff, but we have had many successes with some of them to, give ones with kids and give them a gift basket like the Hope stuff or bag or something like that, and keep them connected.
well, I really like a lot of the things that you guys have suggested, because I think one of my frustrations that for me has been I don't want to be offensive, but what was it? felt that, and maybe that was because a lot of the people in our club are steeped in tradition, is how limiting the mission statement. I thought the mission statement can be very limiting. Every time somebody come up with a really good idea, let's do this, let's do that, it was like, oh, but does that fit into what we're doing? And it might fit a little bit, but I found that a little frustrating, but I understand that they're kind of opening up about that now. We talked about that at our meeting.
Oh, good.
Regional meeting.
Because that's what the accelerator project's all about, right, Judy, is to
Exactly.
recognize those things. And besides, women have children. They don't only have girl children, right? They have
Right,
boy children.
right.
We let men into our club and stuff. And so it's not the mission base is not women and children like they used to say. It's women and girls, because boys get a lot more opportunities than girls. They just do. In the prisons, in the schools and stuff. And this is what girls see. And we've got to, and even in our own careers, we can see how the opportunities.
Well, that was one of the things that I wanted, that my good friend that's in Vacaville, I just was so inspired. That's part of the reason I finally joined, was because she was having such an amazing experience up there. And they were helping women. They were working with women in business. These aren't women that were raped or poverty stricken, or they were just women trying to make it in business and supporting them. And I'm like, how is that not okay?
That's totally okay.
Trying
That's
No, it
mentoring.
is.
to be an entrepreneur, even though they weren't victims of domestic violence or,
Right.
Anyway.
And I get a lot of college kids. I have as externs. They're in their senior year, and they work for me, and because they think they want to go to law school. And all of them now are talking, well, I'm going to take a gap year. I've never heard of this. They can take a year off after graduation before they go to law school. They would take the law scholastic aptitude test many, many times because they want to get the highest score to get in the school that they want. And they don't know law. And even law school women, I just say, come to my court, watch other people in court, because everyone has their own style. Women are not men. We can't go to court and talk in court as if we were men, unless we have that kind of style that works for us. We need more role models, to figure out what works for you. Because if you're a teeny tiny woman with a baby doll voice, it's not going to work you have an obnoxious attitude like some men do. I mean, it just comes natural to them. I don't understand it. I do know a judge that I thought was very effective. She's retired now. And she said, and she'd been a judge for more than 20 years. She said, when will I finally get to be like, male judge blankety blank and talk like he does to the litigants and get away with it? When we get so-called obnoxious on the bench, we get called down on it.
Yeah.
They run to our presiding judge and complain about us. They don't do it to the men.
Wow.
Yeah.
So got to change this world. We just got to change this world.
Yep.
That's what we're doing.
In my lifetime.
Yeah, I thought things were changing in the 70s. I was in high school graduating. Roe versus Wade came down. I was like, yes, and all this stuff. And now it's,
I know, look at us now. Yeah.
it's still a fight. It's still a battle.
All right. I'm going to have to sign off. I have company that I told them 7:00 and now it's.
Well, it was great. It was great having you here, Paula. Great
Yes,
ideas.
thanks,
Thank
Paula.
you.
And thank you, Gail. I'm going to actually stop the recording now.
Okay.